The rules are now out. Jake Paul getting ready for an Anthony Joshua fight, and some of these rules may surprise some of you guys.
We'll be using 10-ounce gloves for the duration of the fight.
And Anthony Joshua has a weight limit of 245 pounds.
That's dangerous. That's dangerous.
Jake Paul has completely unraveled after Anthony Joshua dropped the full Queensberry rule set for their December 19th showdown. 10-ounce gloves, real knockouts, official records on the line. And Jake instantly looked like a man realizing he'd basically signed off on the end of his own career. What was meant to build hype around him became a public notice of execution, exposing just how catastrophically outmatched he is under authentic heavyweight conditions. Jake Paul, Anthony Joshua, two names, but one fate.
Boxing. Anthony Joshua is going to take on the YouTuber turned boxer Jake Paul in a professional bout in Miami next month. The former world heavyweight champion.
Jake Paul deluded enough to think it was a good option to get in the ring with Anthony Joshua.
The second those official rules went live, it was like the lights shut off around Jake. No hype, no influencer theatrics, none of the chaos he thrives in, just darkness. Joshua ripped away the illusion and revealed what this truly is: a full-fledged, sanctioned heavyweight collision set for December 19th, 2025 at Miami's Casa Center, where only one man walks out steady while the other risks being crushed flat.
Jake's a good novice. Jake's a good novice.
Oh, yeah.
And if he wanted to have a legitimate career in boxing, then he would climb the domestic rankings in America, and he might even make top 50.
Jake spent years building this empire. Loud bravado, controversy, viral stunts, carefully curated shock value. But a single rule sheet from Joshua shattered it like fragile glass. The conversation shifted instantly. It wasn't who wins anymore. The real question became far more grim. How long can Jake last? Minutes? A few rounds? Maybe just seconds?
A huge risk. It's a huge risk. You can't look away from it.
And the boxing world didn't just respond. It exploded. Analysts, promoters, retired heavyweights, even casual fans sounded like they were reading a funeral notice. No one sugar-coated it. This was a man willingly stepping into a scenario so lopsided it borders on madness. Joshua isn't participating in influencer theatrics. This is the same guy who has battled and beaten 260-pound knockout tanks, champions, true elite contenders. He isn't entering a playful, scripted spectacle. He's entering a professional arena with Jake Paul and shoving him toward the exit before the bell even rings.
You've got to be in it to win it, and AJ was in the right place to maximize the opportunity around him, and he has defined a sensational legacy.
So, what are the rules? The bout will take place at a heavyweight, obviously. It's going to be 8 3-minute rounds. You might think, well, that's better for Jake Paul, and I'm thinking, not really. It's better for Anthony Joshua because he's just going to go all out for them 8 3-minutes.
And came the part that sent the internet into full detonation mode. These weren't softened entertainment, friendly rules designed to keep Jake protected. These were straight Queensberry rules, the same unforgiving standards used in real heavyweight wars. No loopholes, no cushioned exhibition nonsense. 8 3-minute rounds, 24 minutes where anything catastrophic can happen.
Fighters will be using 10-ounce gloves for the duration of the contest.
10-ounce gloves, thin, punishing, built to deliver maximum impact. No headgear, no gentle pacing, no referee treating Jake like a fragile YouTuber hoping to survive if Joshua lands a perfect shot. And practically every analyst, every fan, and probably his own team believes that shot is coming. And it all becomes part of Jake's permanent professional record.
The test is a professional bout and will go on the boys' records. But that being said, this is heavyweight boxing. Anything can happen. I'm going to give you my prediction right now.
Joshua didn't just accept those rules. He insisted on them. Every detail screams authenticity. Every requirement drags Jake out of influencer comfort and throws him into a legitimate fight that could easily break him. His typical strengths vanish. His quickness means nothing against a man who's delivered and absorbed genuine heavyweight punishment for years, and his size difference is only a small piece of the problem. His trick of bullying smaller or exhausted opponents becomes pointless. Joshua crafted this environment so precisely that every advantage leans heavily in his favor. Pace, strategy, brute strength, stamina, mental warfare.
£100 versus £252. We got a 252 pounder in Anthony Joshua.
Then there's the weight cap, 245 pounds for Joshua. Lean enough to move like a predator, yet heavy enough to shake bones and confidence alike. 8 rounds, 3 minutes each, 10-ounce gloves, knockouts fully legal. Anyone would start sweating. Jake's cruiserweight tools suddenly look like a toy sparkler facing a flamethrower. Every jab, hook, and counter from Joshua will carry the force of a man who has measured and dismantled fighters 20 pounds heavier and far more seasoned.
I want to see it because there's a lot of hate out here on influencer boxing. A lot of people have got different opinions on boxing these days. But I want to ask you, do you box?
And the deeper fans dug into those rules, the more hopeless it looked for Jake. People started calling it a death chamber because Jake has no fallback option. Under exhibition rules, he could hang on. Under influencer conditions, he could stall. But under heavyweight regulations, there is no escape. Every second, Joshua has full permission to unleash the same brutality he brought against real-world champions. Jake went from controlling the narrative to stumbling blindfolded into a battlefield he assumed he understood, but absolutely did not.
This is a real, legitimate fight. Jake Paul is absolutely crazy. If not crazy, he's super brave. And it'll be interesting to see.
Joshua even said it outright, no mercy. And coming from Anthony Joshua, those words feel different. It wasn't marketing. It was a declaration, cold and final. The boxing world went quiet because they know exactly what no mercy looks like from him. Bodies folding from body shots, knockouts that end careers. It's something Jake Paul has never experienced. The sheer force of a natural heavyweight with elite professional accuracy.
It can happen in a variety of ways, various ways, but I'm not dependent on punch power, you know.
That single statement cracked Jake's public image. For the first time in years, he didn't look composed. His interviews came off uncertain, his jokes forced, his confidence uneven. Even his own fans felt the shift. The same people who once hyped him suddenly sounded nervous. Even his most loyal supporters admitted they were worried. That isn't normal. That's the kind of tension that arises when the audience senses the danger before the fighter does.
A professional heavyweight fight against an elite world champion in his prime. When I beat Anthony Joshua, every doubt will disappear. He's talking to you, Charlamagne.
Okay.
And honestly, it adds up. Jake built his myth on disruption. The guy who shocked everyone, embarrassed opponents who underestimated him. But Joshua didn't underestimate anyone. He set the rules specifically so Jake couldn't twist the situation. Every safety net Jake depended on was ripped away. This wasn't influencer boxing anymore. This wasn't crossover entertainment. This was a heavyweight predator standing across from a cruiserweight entertainer. Once the rules went public, the atmosphere changed. It didn't feel like hype anymore. It felt like a countdown. December 19th stopped being a fight date and became a warning sign. The day Jake Paul steps into something bigger, harsher, and far more vicious than anything he's tasted. And whether he accepts it or not, the world has already made up its mind. Jake didn't just lose control, he lost the entire room.
AJ could wake out his sleep, all right,
Okay.
and put Jake Paul to sleep.
Okay.
And I ain't taking nothing from Jake Paul. I'm just telling you, I respect the fact that Jake Paul is getting in the ring with somebody like Anthony Joshua. But I'm telling you, night.
Joshua didn't need trash talk. Releasing the rules alone told the full story. Jake walked in thinking this was going to be a spectacle. Joshua turned it into a professional dismantling, and the internet understood exactly what that meant.
Joshua is big, heavy puncher, but not as evasive. So I think if Jake has the right game plan, he has a pretty good shot of...
Joshua made it brutally clear he wasn't treating Jake like a celebrity guest or some crossover gimmick. He spoke about Jake the same way he talks about actual heavyweight threats. Klitschko, Dillian White, Kubrat Pulev, using that clipped, icy tone he reserved for real danger, not promotion. And Jake felt that. The man who built an entire image around bravado and invincibility suddenly looked unplugged. Every interview afterward had that shaky, "I'm fine" energy, the same tone people use when they're seconds away from breaking down. Even his fans picked up on it.
Well, by the sounds of it, there's 50 million reasons why Anthony Joshua's taken this fight. In my head, I never ever thought this fight would happen. Why? Because of Anthony Joshua's desire to be in the history books, to be a 3-time heavyweight champion of the world. To me,
Joshua wasn't just delivering a threat. He was setting the atmosphere for a genuine fight. Not a gimmick, not a cash grab, not a playful experiment. A fight that will be written permanently in the professional record books. And he said it clearly. He's not here to perform for Jake Paul's audience. He's here to erase him, his confidence, his hype, the entire storyline Jake has been constructing. When Joshua speaks like that, he means it. He doesn't issue empty warnings. He inflicts real damage. And Jake Paul stepped directly into the center of that target.
Be the same for all of us, you know. Honestly, all of us. Many a greats have walked it before. All of the undercard are going to walk it. I'm going to walk it. I'm going to feel just like any of them. But when I step into that ring, that's when I switch on and I'm ready. So